28 weeks later is canon. There's a lot of critics online who don't understand 28 years later. Allow me to explain exactly why 28 weeks later is definitely canon to the trilogy and not forgotten. A. The Alpha Zombie, right? Don was the original Alpha Zombie. I made a video about this separately, but basically, in 28 weeks later, Don is the first infected by the carrier, that being his wife. When he's infected, he leads the horde. Not quite, but he's smarter than the other infected. He begins it all, and he has a certain intelligence that the other rage infected do not have. He's a lot cleverer than the other ones. He hides between buildings when bombs go off. He knows how to survive, and the only reason he dies is because his daughter screams dad and he hesitates and then he gets shot. Right, that's the only reason that this infected died, because he recognized his own daughter. So that stopped him. So he, in my opinion, was the first alpha zombie, right? Yeah, he wasn't big and strong like they are in the new film, but that's because he was just soon infected. He only just got infected. Give it a few years and he would have been like them. I guarantee it. Reason number two is the biggest reason people believe weeks later isn't canon anymore is because suddenly Europe is quarantine free. How did that happen? Oh, well, France is the closest European country to England, right? And from 28 weeks later, all we know is that the virus reached France in Paris. That's it. We don't know if it went any further than that. The same film established that they locked down London, right? If it wasn't for those stupid teenagers looking for their mum, the events of 28 weeks later would not have happened, right? So, is it really so hard to believe that in 28 years' time, somewhere within that time period, they locked down Paris and stopped the virus from spreading any further? Because they did it in London, but those kids fucked it up. So, I don't think it's that hard to believe. And there's actually like a news reel at the beginning of the film. I think 28 years later explains that they did get to quarantine Europe, but it comes back in England because that's where it come from. That's where it's most strongest. The virus is the most strongest in England because it started there. So obviously in the United Kingdom, especially just like England and Scotland and Wales, that big island is going to be the most rage-ridden place on earth, obviously. So I don't think it's that hard to believe that Europe and France got quarantined. Um, Reason number three is the carriers, right? The mum and the kids are carriers of the virus, right? They're not infected, but they have the virus, right? Like they don't get angry, but they carry the virus with them, right? So now we go back to the sort of pregnant zombie in 28 years later, gives birth to a human being that is non-infected. Well, guess what? I guarantee that baby is a carrier. Guarantee it, right? If it's not a carrier, it could be immune to the virus, just like the kids and the mum were. They were immune. So this film, 28 weeks later, establishes alpha zombies, Dom. It's not that hard to believe that in 28 years, they quarantined Europe and France, and now England, where it originated from, is a rage infested place. I don't think it's that hard to believe. And number three, the film has already established that people can be immune to the virus, just like the baby. And we don't know if the baby's going to be a carrier or not. It might be a carrier. It could be immune. It could be Ellie from The Last of Us, I reckon. Um, Imagine in the trilogy, they come home and the whole town is just zombie infected because of that baby. That would confirm that 28 weeks later was canon, but it's already canon, like I said. Alpha Zombie, Quarantined France, Carriers, Immune People. It's all been established in the second film. So all these critics like, oh yeah, it's not canon because Quarantined France didn't exist. Well, yeah, that was 28 years ago. Come on. It's not that hard to believe that they quarantined France. And maybe the virus comes back in too, you know? Like, that's what viruses are like in real life. They come and go. You know what I mean? When it's winter, you get viruses coming back, like the common cold. Goes away in the summer, then you get hay fever, you know? Maybe rage is like the common flu in this universe, you know? Like, every now and then people get rage, you know? Maybe. Um, I just think like people trying to say the second film is non-canon because of France isn't quarantined anymore, must be decanonized. Maybe maybe just that one, the end credits of the film. That's it. Like it's just the last scene where they're in Paris. You could argue that bit of the film, just the last scene, has been retconned. But apart from that, everything in the second film is 100% canon.